All right, I think Joe Biden just won Alaska. So I think that means that he's president because Alaska hates the gays. If you could win that, you can win anything. Take it, Frank.
Hi, welcome to the Pat Oates Show with our host, Pat Oates, and co-host, Bobby Tamburo, with our special guest tonight from WATP, Karl Heberger. And I am Frank Morgello. Back to you, Pat.
Karl, just so you know, I knew he couldn't read the names. I gave him the initials. I hope that was fine.
I know. I was hoping he was going to say one of these podcasts, but he did dox me. One thing I do ask is that people don't say my last name because I do get a lot of death threats.
Oh, I forgot that people hate you.
That's okay.
I forget that.
I looked at the one time he got it right was the one thing I didn't want him to do. He even pronounced it correctly.
I got it right.
Yes, you did.
Correctly
That was my bad for saying the full. I forget you're the only person who doesn't want to be fully promoted because of what you do. And if people that haven't checked it out yet, Karl's podcast is fantastic unless you are the subject of the podcast. The only guy I know is that many followers and that many people that love your show and that low of a rating on freaking iTunes because it's everyone that gets rated, you review horribly just goes, fuck you, 1 star, which by the way, I gave 5 stars when you tore me apart. It was fucking hilarious.
I ask everyone to give us 5 stars and then shit all over us in the comments section, but we do get a lot of 1-star reviews.
Yeah, they're fine until you shit on that. It's funny. I mean, I got a death threat from being on your show as a guest.
You ruined an episode of WTP, Pat.
No, it was Vinny Beetle when we covered his thing.
Right.
The guy did a episode of his podcast called Pat Oates is Gay, and when you said, by the way, we're gonna do his podcast, and I noticed an episode name. Do you mind chiming in? I'm like, yeah, I don't mind at all. So yeah, I'll take that death threat. Thank you.
He was shocked that you weren't a fan of his.
He was shocked that I was upset and said, "How dare you?" I'm like, "You made a podcast called Pat Oates is Gay."
Right, so just what I'm deducing here is you'd rather be dead than gay.
I'd rather be gay than be just someone to name a podcast about me. They search that and then go, oh, I get the wrong audience. Like my show, I don't know if you're listening to some of these shows, not catered to the gays. So I don't want them to come on and go, wait a minute, this is false advertising. That's all I want.
Oh, I get it. It was just more of a marketing thing.
Yeah, it's all about marketing. And it was pretty searchable for a little while because his podcast, Scumtown, everyone thinks it's Scumtown, so they search the other podcast, and therefore, then people get enough searches where they're like, "Oh, wait, Pat Oates is gay." And I'm like, well, at least they know who I am. And I don't know, I've never tried gay, so maybe, who knows? Maybe I'm better at it. Who knows? Frank, you ever been gay?
I'm sorry. Was I?
Have you ever been gay? Was it legal when you were a kid?
No. I mean, they looked at it a little differently than we look at it today.
Yeah, today we love it. Today it's our favorite thing.
Well, some people do. I mean, I never had a problem, and
never had a problem. That is totally an old man thing to say. Never had a problem with it. Never threw a stick at gays or nothing.
I never probably with a dick in my mouth, so I was fine.
I may change my story tonight.
By the way, I like Karl's thing there. That's even better. I was never caught with a dick. I could quit at any time. I never had a problem. I just do dicks when I'm with friends. That's all. Yeah. All right, because someone wrote this on Twitter the other day. What's gayer? Oh, was it? It's taking it in the ass. Oh, no, sucking a dick or getting your dick sucked?
Is that for Frank?
For everyone.
Sucking a dick is always gayer than gay.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I would think so. Yes, sucking a dick.
Yeah.
You get your dick sucked. Everyone can do that.
Yeah.
Getting your dick sucked. You can pretend that your dick is in a girl's mouth. There's no pretending it's not a dick in your mouth. You know what I mean? That's a dick.
But if you're forced to suck a dick and you cup the balls, you're also gay. Even at gunpoint.
Okay, if you're forced and you add anything to it, you're not being forced anymore.
Yeah. You stick a finger in the ass, you're gay.
If you're forced but know exactly what to do, it's like you make straight eye contact, you're wearing mascara so it runs. Yeah, you're different. But Frank, I mean, you probably back in the day you couldn't tell who was a tranny. You didn't know what those were. You probably got
No. It was the first time I ran into that was probably in the late 70s at a gay club in Westport.
What were you doing there?
Oh, coming up.
some guy that liked me
So it starts.
said that he wanted to buy the club. He wanted to buy the club, and he wanted to bring me there for support. I don't know what kind of support, but we went in there, and there was this guy that I remember. I mean, we're going back, almost 40 years ago. There was a guy in there, totally dressed out like a woman, except he had a mustache and a beard. And he came up to me and he says, "Do you want to dance?"
What a lazy gay.
That was the worst.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, clean yourself up, pal. I mean, I'm not going to
you're
dance
not
with
even
you.
trying.
Cheek to cheek. I mean, cheek to cheek with the beard against. I had a full beard in those days. I mean, my beard against his beard. Nah.
The TV show Bosom Buddies was around then. He had some reference. They shaved. I don't know.
Never saw it.
I think you were just at a gay bar. I don't think there was any guy buying anything. The only support he wanted was ball support.
The guy turned out to be a little wacko. He put me on a couple of his adventures.
Was it Joe Biden?
Oh, I hope it
You
was.
want to say that right now?
Did he sniff you? Bobby, ever go to a gay bar in support of a man?
I mean, when I was in state college, that was where the open mic was on Sundays.
How was that? Was that fun?
Yeah, they get into it. They're supportive. You know what I mean? Like, you want to talk about a supportive crowd. That's a supportive crowd. Certain topics you don't want to touch on.
Best audiences, I think, if you have to have one grouping, are either gay men or black women.
Yep.
Because they've dealt with everything in the fucking world. They can laugh at anything. Worst ones, lesbians and black men. They don't like stuff.
Oh, I got to say, the bachelorette party, that's the best comedy crowd you could possibly have. So much fun.
Oh,
They really are
Ooh.
attentive. They want to hear every punchline. They can't wait.
yeah.
Get to the setups.
They're always nice. They always turn off their dick hats before the show starts.
Very respectful to the performers. They're great.
They get that they're no longer the center of attention. It's your time to be.
I did one at Foxwoods once where a lady had a sash on. It just said Miss Cunt. Like, where do you even buy that? I'm like, so it's Miss. So a good thing you're getting married and changing your last name. Joke went right over her head. She didn't. It's like,
You see that, just let her on stage because she needs to be the center of attention.
Oh.
Just, all right, you got 45 minutes. Do whatever you want. You
they
got
already
my
are.
Take it.
Even you could try to do any joke you want. If it's not about them, they don't give a fuck.
They
It's
don't
like,
care.
oh, it's awful. I don't know if I should try this. Frank, I think this week we're going to let you start because the last time I gave you a POS,
Right.
you went real long. So
Yeah, I did go on. Right.
Yeah.
I picked the POS story that is trimmed. It's not that elaborate that I have to explain every move that is made. So we'll get right into it.
now,
I'm just going
Frank,
to tell you, you're not off to a great start.
no, that was too long. Just explaining the explaining. Bobby's right. I think in
Sorry
comedy,
about that.
in the world of comedy, what I'll do, Frank, is I'll give you the light. If you go too
okay.
long, I will light you.
Okay.
It will get you cut. So first POS story goes to Frank. Take it, Frank.
Okay. Thanks, Pat. If you've been listening to the past couple of shows, I've been talking about my ventures as
Cut.
what?
No filler. No banter. Just tell them you don't have to do that. Just tell them we'll
Okay.
get it. You don't have to fucking
Okay.
back. Last week on POS, just fucking do the thing. Go to the
Hey,
story.
our fans are
go.
dedicated.
Yeah, they know.
They know what's going on.
They got it. You don't have to fucking explain
All right.
the explanation.
So in 1983, a friend of mine that I did a lot of pranks with, Alan Abel, came out with a book called Don't Get Mad, Get Even. And so we were trying to figure a way to promote it. And he got the publisher to come up with a budget where we would fly to California, buy tickets to the Super Bowl 17. And I would be dressed as a policeman, and we had somebody else dressed as a referee. I would get him onto the field, and at the beginning of the second half, he would stop the Super Bowl, tear off his uniform, and it would say, "Don't get mad, get even" on the shirt. Hopefully, it would get on TV, the radio, and we could publicize it the next day. That was the concept.
Yep.
Okay, so we go to the Rose Bowl in LA, Pasadena. Cost $35 for the tickets. I remember buying them, and we got okay. So it's 85 degrees. We both have raincoats on with our uniforms underneath it with a shopping bag. We go through security. Nobody says anything to us, and we get into the stands. We're sitting in our seats. We were there with Alan and a lawyer. So what happens at halftime, we start walking down to the field. We start this roving, take off our raincoats, put the hats on. I look like a cop. He looks like a referee. There's security at the gate, and he looks at me, and I said, "Hi, this is the alternate referee. He was mugged leaving his hotel this morning. He just got out of the hospital. I have to get him on the field." He opens up the gate. We go onto the field. The second half starts. Miami gets the ball, 3 and out. They go to punt. I send the referee out. He blows his whistle. Everybody freezes. Nobody does anything. I'm still on the sidelines. He doesn't know what to do. He rips off his uniform, and it says, "Don't get mad, get even." But nobody's doing anything. So I go running out after him on the field, and we do a Keystone Cops as we go around the players. I got tired. I mean, I was heavy. I got tired. So I finally tell him, "Go down, go down." So I tackle him, and I bring him off the field, and everybody's booing. As I get him off to the field, 10 guys pounced on him, and he disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. I'm standing there. The guy says, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm private security." "You got proof?" I take out a pass to Southport Racquetball Club. That's the only thing I had on me. I gave it to him, and he says, "Okay, thank you." And that was it. I go back to the stands where everybody is, and I said, "What happened?" He says, "They went to a commercial on TV, but CBS Radio described the whole thing that happened." I said, "Okay." So I flip out. I said, "I got to get on television. We got to publicize this motherfucker." So I run back on the field. Nobody stops me. I'm dressed like a cop. I stand by the Miami Dolphins cheerleaders. So if you ever see the highlights, there's a cop by the cheerleaders. That would be me. And anyway, so with 2 minutes to go, Riggins scores the final touchdown to put away the game. I said, "Okay, the game's not in jeopardy." As they're kicking the extra point, I run on the field.
Third fucking time.
I run on the right for the second time. I run on the field. I'm going over to the lineman, and I get to the referee. He's got his hands up like this for the extra point. And I said, "I'm stopping the Super Bowl." He says, "Fuck you." I said, "Fuck me, fuck you." He takes his hat and goes like this, and seven guys come out in plain clothes. They pick me up, and they're bringing me off the field. As I'm going off the field, there's 107,000 people cheering me. And I start waving to them, having a good time. Okay, we get off the field. They bring me into a tunnel. As I'm going into the tunnel, Marv Albert from NBC Sports, he sees that they got a cop. They're arresting a cop. He comes running over with a mic, and he says, "Are you anybody?" And he puts the mic in my face. I said, "No." He says, "Thank you," and he takes off. Well, I get arrested. They put me in a paddy wagon.
Why'd you say no?
Because I'm nobody.
I guess we'll get back to that, but whatever.
Okay, so now
The asshole who ruined the Super Bowl 3 times.
Yeah.
So now I get arrested. I'm put in a paddy wagon with all these other drunks. We got these plastic handcuffs on and leg straps on. We get there, and I get my photograph taken, my mug shot, my fingerprinted, and everything like that. And they bring me into a cell. There's this big African-American guy in that cell. And the cell door opens, and he looks. They arrested the fucking sheriff. And so he says, "I hate the fucking police." And I said, "Whoa, pal." I go in there. For the next 3 hours, I tell him my life story. We're pals. Okay, finally they
probably
come
fell
and get-
asleep.
Yeah, finally.
3 hours.
Jesus Christ.
It's
Now-
3 hours.
Well, he was in jail. 3
This is
hours.
the edited version of a fucking story.
So what happens? They come and get me. And the cop said, the two detectives says, "What the hell are you doing?" So I told him. He says, "All right, when are you leaving?" I said, "Tomorrow." He says, "Can't you get out tonight?" I said, "No, we'll leave tomorrow." He says, "Never come back to Pasadena." I said, "Okay." So I leave. And so I'm leaving the police station, and I'm in an elevator. I come down, and Alan Abel's there with the press. And so already I'm starting giving the press conference. So we finally get back to the hotel. We go to sleep. The next day, we were doing a couple interviews. One was with the Los Angeles Times. They come to the hotel we're at, and we give him an interview. And he says, "Could you put on your police outfit and your and your referee outfit. And we said, sure. So we're going to take pictures. So we took pictures. We're back in there having lunch. And then all of a sudden, this group of drunks on the side. I mean, they were cursing and everything. And I said, watch this. I go over to them. I said, excuse me. Using foul language, it's 2:00 in the afternoon and you're drunk? Don't you have any respect for the public? And the guy says, fuck you. And he says, come here. So I go over to him. He says, don't you recognize me? I said, no. He says, I'm the detective that arrested you. He says, get the fuck out of town. And I politely said, yes, sir. And I walked away. I told the reporters that I took care of it. Everything's okay, except for one thing.
What?
One of the wives, it was a retirement party. She's going to the bathroom.
What the fuck?
She comes by me. She comes by me. She sticks her face into my nose.
It's the
and she
next
says,
Super Bowl.
you're a bastard, and walks away. And
Yes.
that's the end of my story.
I agree with her.
Who's a piece of shit? Me, Alan Abel, the police.
Bobby, you go
Dolphins.
first. Bobby, go first.
Yeah, you're the piece of shit, Frank, for not walking away. Once you guys got on the field the first time, you were in the clear.
He did.
If you leave then, that's the perfect story. We all go, Frank's the man. We should look up to Frank. Now I go, why did you run back on the field? You didn't have the shirt on.
I was trying to get publicity on television.
They announced it on the radio.
Yeah, I know.
You got
I
it.
know.
You nailed it.
I was looking for bigger and better things.
So
Frank,
were we.
You're a
Carl,
piece of shit because you waited for a commercial break to do your stunt. Have you never watched?
No. No,
The
time
play
out.
was
Time
dead.
out.
They were going to commercial, then you were on the field.
Oh, time out.
What?
They were
fuck. You did all this research. You
Carl
see the red
from
light.
WATP. Were you listening or what?
Yeah.
What I said.
Frank, you said that.
What I said was he was about to
No.
punt the ball.
No.
That's when I sent them out.
Yeah, but you went out when they were in commercial. You even said that's why it was
Right.
on
I went
TV.
out when there was commercial.
Why
Right.
the fuck would you do
No,
it during a
secondly,
punt? You
I
they
didn't
were gonna
know
go
it
to
was
break.
commercial.
You know what happens
He
after
was
a
out
punt.
there for 2 minutes. I didn't know what they were doing.
Also, to be fair, if he forgot, it was 2 minutes into the 25-minute story. So
Right.
It was-
Check your watch. That was a damn quick story.
Frank,
It was
no,
a
it
great
wasn't. It was
story.
at least 15 minutes long.
We're actually
No,
out
it
of time.
wasn't. Come on.
Frank,
The other
What?
thing
Carl's 100% right. I mean, even if you didn't know it's commercial, what do they do after a punt at the Super Bowl, Frank?
They go to a 30
Fucking commercial. No, it's
Right.
not 30 seconds. Even back then, it was longer than 30 seconds for a Super Bowl.
Plus, I call bullshit on your story. You pulled out a racquetball club membership card.
I said,
You
okay.
just said you were fat. You're not playing racquetball. You know how much exercise that takes?
It wasn't. I didn't say it was my idea.
Oh, okay. The story's got a lot of holes in it.
I borrowed it. I mean, I wouldn't have my Frank Regallo. I'm not going to put that to anybody.
I don't
There-
think you remember how this actually went down.
No,
So
of
I'm
course
saying
he
because of POS.
This is the,
Now you
sev-
can check it on the
the
internet.
70s.
Check it on the
This is
internet.
50
It's
years
there.
ago.
Yeah, right.
No, it was 83,
Okay. Sorry, Frank. It was 40,
37.
37 years ago. You fucking old fuck. All right, there's several pieces of shit. They're all you, but there's different versions of it. One, don't ever call it a police outfit. It's a uniform, you gay guy. What are you doing? I had my police outfit and my referee outfit. Like, no, you didn't. They're uniforms. That's why you look terrible. You couldn't do anything. Second of all, no, it's a piece of shit. 9/11. Why did it happen earlier? It would have stopped you because after 9/11, you can't do that shit you just did. Walking
No
on the field,
fooling.
dressed
No,
like
I
a
know
cop,
that.
doing all that. But you're the real piece of shit for this. Why is only that guy wearing the T-shirt that says it? You both should have worn it. You're publicity whores. You're running out. He should have been wearing it. What was the name of the book again?
Don't get mad, get even.
Your shirt should have said "get even." His shirt said "don't get mad." And he's chasing you around each other, and you would have seen it. Now, I like how you said they explained it on the radio, but the guy, if he didn't read the name of the shirt, it doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
For half the money, you could have just paid the Goodyear blimp to pull a thing over it, and they would have gone up to it, and you would have seen the name of the fucking book. And then when Marv Albert fucking asked Marv Albert before he bit a woman or did anything, asked you who you were, you could have said, "I'm the author of Don't Get Mad, Get Even." You were nobody and ran away.
Right.
You're a
But that was
piece
my
of shit
first.
because
you're right, Pat.
Yeah, I know.
I like when he explained to us who Marv Albert is.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, who? I've never heard of such
It's
a
the
person.
only person we knew in that story.
It was the transvestite. That was my first transvestite sighting.
He
was Marv Albert.
True.
Yes. 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 That's what he. You should have said. That's what you should have said to him. Are you anybody?
didn't-
Yes. That would have been great,
Yes.
right in his dumb face. You blew it. You blew a
I
fucking
know.
opportunity. And then why did we get the whole
30
story in jail? What was that? What was that?
What do you mean the whole
Just
story?
end
Yeah.
it. We walked
What
off.
was
We're
about
done.
Your friend that you made in jail was so unnecessary to that story. You could
Frank
cut
just
that
wanted to
part
say he
out.
knew a black guy, so when he says the N word later, it's okay.
Hey, that's Karl from WATP. That's a good edit. I will.
Okay.
I will edit that into the next time I tell the story.
Next time Frank makes up that story, he'll add that part. All right, thank you.
You really
Frank.
wanted publicity. You should have told him you had planted a bomb in the stadium.
Oh yeah.
You should have. That's what you should have done. You should have put a.
Like,
When
bomb
you were
your
on the
chest.
stretcher, are you
Well, we
somebody? Yeah, I'm the guy who planted a bomb at the Rose Bowl. Good luck finding it, fuckers.
Yeah.
It got a lot of publicity. The book did well. It was in the top 10 on the New York Times.
I'm sure you're not.
Americans-
What? Are you really taking credit?
No,
Are you taking credit for the thing you did when nobody?
I participated in it.
37
And one
years
of the
ago, when
many
people
things
didn't
to
watch the
promote
Super
the
Bowl.
book. And a lot of the stories contain me in it.
Yeah, I know. It's all.
So
These aren't even POS stories. This
at
is
my
just-
age, it should be.
This is just you documenting your life, so when you die, we can just show this stuff.
Yeah, I would like to repick my POS for Frank because that's a cool story. Like no one was a piece of shit in that story.
Yes, okay. I mean, how
Thank
about
you,
the lady-
Bobby.
How about Marv Albert was a piece of shit? The detective. How about the cop who looked at the Southport racquetball thing and said, "Okay, that's, a piece of shit. That's not okay. That's not." He wasn't a cop either. He was also lying.
I mean, I show it to him and he looks at it, he goes, okay. And I look at it. I said, what the hell does it say that gives me a pass that I'm in security?
Frank, I don't think that was even the Super Bowl. I think everybody was faking it that day. And you went to this, it was like a reenactment of the Civil War. You just went to some dumb fucking thing where they're all dressed up. Oh, thanks, Frank. All right, now we'll do a real story. Woman armed with taser tells neighbors to stop acting like black people. A California woman showed up at her neighbor's home with what appears to be a taser and told them to stop acting black in their white neighborhood when a confrontation over their dogs escalated, video said. You guys are acting like black people, and you should act like white people, the white woman, whose neighbors identified as Adana Dean, said in the footage at altercation. Jerry L. Jones, who is black, said Dean initially approached her 13-year-old nephew Monday in their Discovery Bay neighborhood asking to pet the family's pit bull, Dice, and he obliged. But then 5 minutes later, she showed up on the doorstep and claimed that their dog had attacked her poodle. Dean was seen on the video holding her poodle in one hand and what appears to be a taser in the other. I don't want to see the dog outside, Dean could be heard telling Jones's brother. Garrett then replied, that's the brother, well, he's going to be outside. I have a right to have him outside like every other person. In the videos, Dean can be heard telling him, you're a black person in a white neighborhood and you're acting like one. Why don't you act like a white person in a white neighborhood? Garrett asked Dean to leave the property, which he eventually, can't read, did, but not before threatening legal action against the family. I don't even know where to start with this, but anytime I see a title that says, don't act like black people, I need to read it. I think it's just my favorite. I don't think that was even a race thing. It just seemed like I hate to use the term Karen. I hate it. It's overdone, but that's a Karen thing, right? It's just a woman mad because she wanted to get involved. She didn't know what to do. I think it's just white women. You guys who the POSs are, it's either going to be black people, white people, or Karens, or people who want to be Karens. And to me, it's white women who now think they need to be Karen. I think this lady thought this is her role in life. It's like, there's black people here. I'm not interesting. My husband hates me. I better get on the news. So I think it's just women who want to be Karen. Carl, go ahead.
So you're telling me that a white woman told a black person to act more white?
Because she lives in a white neighborhood.
Are you sure this is a story or just a Chappelle sketch from the season 2 of the
Doesn't it
Chappelle
seem like
Show?
that? Yeah, it's
I
like
think I've seen this episode. So the POS in this one is the poodle, obviously, because poodles are always flaunting their shit, asking for it. And then when they get the hell coming down on them, then they're the victim. Fuck poodles.
Poodles are the peacocks of dogs. They really are.
They really
strutting
are.
their shit. They're the Liberace's of mutts. You know, they can walk around, look at my shit. If I was a pit bulls are like bullies. They're tough guys. That's what they do. So they're gonna see a poodle. They're gonna fuck with it. Why would you bring your poodle?
As they should. That's their role in life. That's their job.
Right, but just the same way, it's a white woman's job nowadays to tell black people to stop being black. It's kind of their job. She is the pit bull. You know what I mean? That's not to be confused with Pitbull. It'd be a better story if you just took the musician Pitbull and put that in this story. And she brought out her Pitbull, and he's just like, oh, Kodak worldwide, and just yelling out at poodles.
So wait, was the neighbor Flo Rida? I'm confused
Yes.
now. Okay. Because he would live in a white neighborhood. That does make sense.
By the way, there is no lazier name in the world than Flo Rida.
Well, he's from Florida.
Really? No,
Just
I
put
never
his
knew.
face to that, and I got a name.
And he rides those flows.
See, I just thought it was that. I didn't. Carl, thank you for unlocking that key. I had no idea.
My rap name is New York. Watch out.
My name is Nuge Urzi.
Oh, I like it. Dude,
Nuge.
not bad.
Nuge and Urzi. Bobby, who is the piece of shit in this?
The piece of shit is Paula Dean's husband. Because at some point, he needs to step up. Like, his role, like, women get excited. That's what they do. They get fired up about things, and your job as her husband is to step in and be like, they have what kind of dog? No. Get back in the house. Like, you're going over there with a taser. They're going to have guns. Come on in.
That's a good point.
Poor Bobby. Never married Bobby. Bobby, if you're married to that woman, you lost your chance to control that a long fucking time ago. That he is so defeated. He's just happy she's going outside and fucking with other people. He's just happy that she's someone else's problem for a couple fucking minutes. He doesn't care. He moved to that neighborhood and made sure there was a black person so she'd have problems so he could fucking watch TV. Because he was trying to watch the 1973 or 1983 World Super Bowl. Just watch his favorite clip. Like Frank said, we can all go back and watch and see him with the cheerleader. When are we going to watch that, Frank? Fuck you. Anyway, it's like no one's going to go back and watch the cheerleaders and look for you. We're going to the cheerleaders.
No, I want to
I'm
watch
planning
that
myself.
from the third quarter. That's so exciting. That's what I want to see.
That big punt. Why did no one come out and get you? Why? No one? Not even the other players? Like, nobody was like,
the players just stood there. The players just stood there. It was
Even-
stupid.
Even in the
I don't know what happened.
Bad News Bears, when they were in Houston, they're like, let them play. But at least they ran around and chased the kid. Like, they didn't. Fuck you. You're not even.
No, I
nothing to
chased the
chase.
kid. I'm the one that went around chasing him. They did nothing.
You weren't in the Bad News Bears. I said in the Bad News Bears, they chased the kid. You're so old, you think you were now in the Bad News Bears.
Wait a second. I wasn't.
Yes, you were not. All right. Frank, who's the piece of shit?
I'm old school. I'm gonna have to go with the white lady. Trying to go. Trying.
Well,
to
no,
tell them
old school would
what-
say the black person.
Bold
for no
pick.
reason.
Bold pick, Frank.
But I'm gonna have to blame the white woman. She has no right telling that woman whatever she told her. She has no right doing that. It's simple.
Frank, do you not understand your role?
He
We're all
doesn't.
supposed to skirt around and be politically correct. You're supposed to be the one like, no, the black person's in the white neighborhood. Act right.
Well,
I'm sorry. I think I said that wrong.
Don't worry, Frank. You don't have to do it.
Full
I'll do it
page
for
2
you.
of the script.
Okay.
I'll do it for you. Devil's advocate. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
Okay. In celebration of the fact that the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is going to be doing a reunion get-together, they understood their role. They caught crap sometime, but when they moved to Bel-Air, they, being the Fresh Prince family, understood they were living in a white neighborhood.
Hold
And
on. Time out, Pat. Will Smith was never black.
No, and Carlton wasn't either, but Uncle Phil was at one point. He became a judge, but at one point, Uncle Phil, R.I.P., was
All right, good point.
was and then remember the first Aunt Viv was black as fuck. And then they got an easier one. They're like, all right, we can't Wesley Snipes the shit out of this. Let's get another one.
We're
The
actually getting
daughter was black.
ratings. We can't have her on the show.
Yeah, the second we got Coca-Cola as a sponsor, we are fucking done. It's time for white people. Anyway, I know this is gonna come off wrong, but if you're a black woman living in a white neighborhood, blend in a little bit. You know what I mean? Don't be as black. Don't have a barbecue. Don't have weights out front. Don't yell at the movies when you're watching at someone else's house. Maybe she should have known her role. You know what I mean? Maybe she should have acted whiter. Maybe Karen was right. Maybe they have a meeting, a sign that says neighborhood watch, and they just put a picture of that black lady and go, we're talking about you. You don't know. See, Frank, that's what you were supposed to do. I didn't want to do that. I still have a bit of a career, and I'm not supposed to do that. So I had to do that for you. By the way,
I
come see me
appreciate
at the
that.
come see me at the Stress Factory on Wednesday. I'll be headlining in a town, Bridgeport, that's mostly filled with black people. Thanks, Frank. Bobby, do you have a story?
Sure.
Sure.
I got my car's brakes changed this weekend. At 7 a.m. on Saturday, I made an appointment for 11, right? At 9, the guy calls me. He's like, what do you have going on? I'm like, need new brakes. He's like, cool. What type of brakes do you need? I'm like, I don't know. This is the Chevy. Like, you tell me. That's why I'm bringing it to you. And he's like, all right, cool. Bring it in at 11. I was like, how long will it take? And he's like, all right, let me look. About an hour, hour and a half. I'm like, cool. I just need it back by 3. I got things I have to do tonight. 2:15, he calls me. He's like, all right, so we got it up in the stand, and it looks like it's going to need new brakes. I'm like, thanks. That's why I made the appointment. How long do you think that'll take, Chuck? And he's like, give it about an hour, hour and a half. I'm like, cool. I just really need to be out by like 4. 4 is my gotta go. At 4, I call. He's like, oh, we're just getting to it now. I'm like, what happened, Chuck? And he's like, things happened. Yours was getting worked on. The guy doing yours was doing another one at the same time. Something happened on the other car, and he had to go take care of it. I was like, okay, how long do you think we got? About an hour. At 6:45, I got there to pick up my car and was like, hey, is it done? And they were like, no, it'll be about 10 minutes. And that's when I was like, Chuck, you got to explain this to me, man. I'm going to need to figure this out. And he's like, well, things happen. I'm like, I get that, but why did I make an appointment? I could have gone to Meineke if I knew it was going to be this long. I didn't. I wanted to go there. They do better things than you guys do, but I couldn't. And he was like, whoa. And I'm like, I get it, man. Like, things happen, but I'm a comedian. I had a show tonight that I was going to get paid to perform on. I don't know if you know this, but there's a quarantine going on. Those gigs are few and far in between. And I'm not saying it's your fault, but like at some point, if somebody had called me and been like, hey, we're not going to get this done until 7, I would have figured out a ride. So he knocked 20% off, which ended up being like $110. I did not have a gig that evening.
Oh, so you lied.
You did not need a car.
So this is the
Who's
part
the
where you
piece of
ask
shit?
us who the pieces of shit are.
Who's
you have
the
to
piece
give
of
us some
shit?
examples. That's what we do.
Is it me for lying?
Yes.
Is it Chuck for not knowing that it would take 7 hours and being upfront about it? Is it Pep Boys for taking the name ironically and being the exact opposite of Pep and doing what would take me 20 minutes in YouTube to do 7.5 hours?
Who are you kicking it to first, Bobby?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to go to Frank. He seems excited.
Okay. Yeah. It's simple. Bobby, you're the piece of shit. It's very simple. Very simple. We all dealt with car service stations before. They are slow. They lie to get you in there, and then they screw around with you while you're in there. I'm surprised they didn't sell you a new generator and 4 tires while you were in there. You're lucky you got away with that. He treated you nice. He didn't screw you, plus you got a discount for nothing. You go in there realizing, okay, 11 o'clock, an hour and a half, 12 and a half, plus with the bullshit they're going to give me, I'm out by 6.
Yeah, did you get a quote originally?
Yeah, he was like,
All
yeah,
right,
we'll
I was
definitely have it
wondering
out
if
by
he
3.
didn't give you a quote and just said,
No.
I knocked off $110.
Would it make you feel better, Frank, if I told you initially he offered me a free oil change? And when I responded, how long do you think that'll take? He then offered the 20%.
Now, you went first of it. You went in there lying. Number one, okay. You lied. You didn't have no fucking gig. You lied. I was sitting here jealous that you're working and I'm not, and I found out you're not working also.
What about the hypothetical? Like, it definitely could have been a possibility.
Yeah, it could have, but it wasn't. Okay, it wasn't, and also the fact you had to know that these people lied through the teeth. I'm gonna take a shot at this. They lie more than you. Okay.
Thank you.
They lie more than you, and you fucking lied. Now they lie. They're giving you a time frame. We all know those time frames don't work. They don't. I had an appointment this morning for 7:15 for an oil change. I got there 7:15. They told me to take me 20 minutes. I got out at 9 o'clock. Did I get upset? No, because I know the game they play.
Now that's how you tell a quick story, Frank.
It was
Thanks.
still long, Carl. Carl, that was still real long. Like,
That was
usually
perfect.
we've gotten through all the people
Thanks.
saying piece of shit, and Frank has
Thanks,
been doing it
Carl
for
from
5 minutes.
WATP. Thank you.
You finally nailed it. 7:15, supposed to be 20 minutes, out of 9. Done. Whole story. Got the whole gist of it.
Oh, when you compare it to a 2-hour oil change, yeah, it's short. Okay. It's like,
Who did you meet in the waiting room, though? Did you make
Oh,
friends in the
fuck.
waiting room?
In fact, in the waiting room, I watched the season 4, episode 3 of The Crown.
oh,
Nice.
by the
was a
way, Bobby,
wet
that
practice
wasn't
event.
an oil change place. That was Frank and his friend doing a wacky trip. Carl, who's
Matt,
the
we're
piece
go-
of shit in Bobby's
Oh.
story? No,
All right, so I actually used to work very closely with a chain company called Monroe Brake and Tires, and they have over 500 locations. I know for a fact how this works. First off, if you need to get new brakes and you expect to get a same-day appointment, you're a fucking idiot. You called at 7 a.m. and said, can I get in today? Yes. Like Frank said, of course they're going to say yes. They want your money. They want to upsell you a million things. So they said, yes, bring it in at 11 o'clock. Bringing your car in at 11 o'clock, that means there's 30 cars in front of your car. You have to know that.
I mean, I saw them in the parking lot. You're not wrong.
And what they're trying to do is they're trying to find out everything wrong with all 30 of those cars. So 30 cars are in front of you to get an oil change, and guess what? They all need brakes. They all need tires. One of them needs a new engine. One needs to be rebuilt from
one
scratch.
needs a steering wheel for some reason. It's like, you don't have one, right? It's like,
Oh, did you drive here with a steering wheel? Because we couldn't find it.
it's not
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
It's not there.
So you're an idiot. Also, the fact they can drop 20%. This isn't a manager. This is just some schmuck who's standing behind the register. It's like, I'll take 20% off. That's how much they're ripping you off.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing to them. That's how much the markup is on these jobs. So they're kind of a POS, but so are you.
Thank
Now-
you.
Now, Bobby, everyone there is right. You are a piece of shit, but not for the reasons they said. Now, Carl is right 99% of the time. But in this instance, I'm going to say it's wrong because Carl, a couple weeks ago, when Bobby shared a story, there was a similar story. Take away getting his car changed and now put in all he did was order a sandwich from a sandwich chain place. Same thing. He called in advance. He ordered a sandwich. They told him when he was going to get the sandwich. And when he got there, they saw his face and said, this is not a face we respect, and we're not going to give you your sandwich.
No.
And they made other sandwiches over his that came in,
Yes.
even though he ordered it.
That
He
is
is
true.
a fucking doormat. He is
I
a
want to point
when
out,
you see
Pat,
Bobby, you say, fuck you. Go ahead, Karl.
I want to point out, a sandwich should be a same-day thing.
Yeah.
That much you can still call him that day and get a sandwich.
What they did was,
right.
like Karl said, the sandwich place looked at Bobby, looked at 30 other sandwiches to see what's wrong with those, and then
Yeah.
upsold him potato salad for no fucking reason. Bobby had to wait for a sandwich he ordered an hour early. These are people that just came in to buy nothing had to do it. They made him sit there like a little bitch and just looked at him in the corner and goes, "You're gonna sit there, you little baby. Babies go in the corner. We're making sandwiches for adults. You're a baby." So that's the problem, Bobby. And first of all, okay, I'm a comic. Frank's a comic. I get all that. But get over yourself. You're going to go up to these people and go, by the way, I'm a comedian. Yeah. No, they're going to say, I've been there. Yeah. Have I heard of you? Of course you haven't. If you had heard of me, I wouldn't be at this fucking shit break place.
Time out. Time out. People who work at shit break places in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania are the people who do know who I am as a
Yeah, because
comedian.
they
That's
do
my
the
crowd.
open mic with you.
There's a 50-50 shot. He's like, oh shit, I've seen you with Earl. And then he hooks me up.
Yeah.
So yeah, was I fishing a little bit? Sure. There's a good shot.
Okay, and then they know there's no gig that day because Harrisburg's got either butter churning contest or that one open mic, or there's nothing else. What are you doing? Dropping comedy. You were better off to say, I have to be back in compound media. Have you heard of that? And they're like, well, no, we're not racist. But that's fine.
Again, I've had boys in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. There is probably a 50-50 shot that they have and they are racist.
And the piece of shit also is Monroe because Monroe stole the logo and signal of Meineke and just said, fuck it, we'll make it blue. That's the only difference they did. But yes, and Karl name dropped. I know a little people called Monroe, which I appreciated. But yes, Bobby, unanimously, you're the piece of shit.
Yeah.
They're supposed to rip you up. You went in thinking you were going to get special service. Fuck you. So where did you have to go it for?
Home. I was working.
You just retired.
I just stayed on clock the whole time.
You're like, I just need to go.
Oh,
It's
so
like a
you
prisoner.
made money on this?
Yeah.
I mean, no, not really. I was still losing money. The amount of money my car cost me versus the amount of hours they kept me there, not even close.
The 110 didn't cover that?
The what?
The 110 that you saved.
Yeah. No, not at all.
No, I think you broke even, my friend.
Dude,
Listen, you and I aren't working jobs that pay-
$250 on a brakes, or no, like $410 on brakes
What?
versus the 8 hours of work. Come on, Pat. You work in retail. You do the math there.
I work in retail. I can't do math.
Fair enough.
We have computers for that.
Yeah,
By the way, I had to watch. Okay, here you go. Here's a POS story that has nothing to do with what I've got written down. I'm going to start this in a frank way by doing a minute or two of building up. But for people that know it, I had to start working retail because with Corona and everything like that, I had to become essential. I took a job I didn't want. I've enjoyed it because I've not cared about it. It's a job that I really don't care about at all. It just made way to make extra money. I put shit on shelves. That's it. Because of that attitude, I have climbed the ranks and now they want to make me a manager because that's what retail does. Because Frank, they almost said that you could see it coming out of their mouth. I'm the least retarded. Like, it's not that I'm not retarded. I'm like the tallest midget in retard terms.
Pat,
It's
you're
just-
also 25 years older than everyone you work with.
No,
That
I'm
might-
really not. I thought it was because of COVID. Now people are all my age. It used to be that. It's young black people and old white men coming together in this weird melting pot of a place called Big Lots. And we're all fucking there, and it's great. But because of this, now they want to move me up. I had to watch a 2-hour sexual harassment / regular harassment video to point it out. And all I did was laugh the entire time because I don't know where to find this video. And if I do, I want to discover this person as the greatest actor of all times. There was a man in this video. His name is Ken. And Ken plays the white asshole in this. And there are 5 kinds of people in it. There's a 3-foot Hispanic crippled ball. I mean, he's just like a ball, and he's in a chair, and he was buzzing by. And the first thing Ken does is goes, "Hey, Speedy Gonzalez, slow down. You're going to get a speeding ticket."
I like this guy already.
Oh, he kills it. Then there's a black guy sitting at a desk, and his desk is covered in Christmas stuff. No one else's desk is covered in anything. And then the black guy turns to Ken and goes, "Ken, for the 100th time, I've told you I'm not religious. Please stop decorating my desk." And Ken goes, "What? You're not religious? You people love church." I'm like, this guy is killing it. And then Bobby comes in. Bobby is someone that Frank met at a bar a long time ago because he's 6'4" with a wig on and goes, "Hello, I'm Bobby," in a dress. And he goes, and Bobby just said to somebody, "I'm confused." And fucking Ken goes, "You're confused. None of us know what you are." So then I had to take a test, and I'm like, I can't concentrate. This is the greatest show I've ever watched in my life. It was. One woman goes, "I want to buy these certain kind of blinds." And Ken goes, "I have them at my house. The best way to see them is laying in my bed with me." I'm like, Ken is on fire. Even at
Ken's
the
a late
end-
night writer now.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely on. Him and Mulaney's got hired for Seth Meyers. It's great. But so at the end, they do a recap, and like the midget guy's like, "Yeah, we should all get along," and the transvestite is like, "Yeah, we're great people." And Ken goes, "I don't get it. You tell a couple jokes, you tell a hot lady she's hot. What's the big deal?" I'm like, does Ken not ever get to break character? What's going on? So I watched the whole thing. I passed the test, whatever. But then I went around to everyone else who's been a manager there and was like, "Have you ever watched that fucking video?" And I couldn't stop talking about it. And then I just tried to see what I could get away with while walking around the store. I'm going, these are the lines. As long as I don't go as far as Ken, I'm okay. And I was telling people they were laughing, and my boss goes, "You're not supposed to watch that video, get inspired, and run around." I go, "You know what the fuck you hired, all right?" So who's the piece of shit? Big Lots for even thinking that that's okay. Listen, what are we doing? 2-hour video for retail people? I got paid for 2 hours to watch what might be the funniest movie since Caddyshack that I've ever fucking watched in my life. They hired me knowing I was a comic. My boss, 2 other people have seen me perform. They know what they hired. Maybe I shouldn't watch that video. The district manager, who, by the way, I've only met one time, and that's how I got promoted, is because he walked in. I didn't know who he was. I had a name tag on. He walked up to me and said, "Hi, Pat," and then went to do like the fist bump because like in COVID, that's what you do. But I didn't realize, and I went to handshake, and he said, oh, I'm doing this. I go, oh, sorry, wrong gang, yo. I'm from different streets. That's what I said to a man I didn't realize was a district manager. He walked away. An hour later, my boss calls me in the back, and I'm like, am I in trouble? He's like, no, apparently you're witty and being wasted in the job you have, so we need to keep you. So is it that guy for thinking I have talent when I don't? Or is it me who should just starve and stake the comedy and stop trying to be? I'm already 46. I've already given up on trying to make anything out of myself. What am I doing? Carl, go ahead.
I have the answer. The POS in this situation is the state of New Jersey, because they're the ones who are mandating that we watch these movies. That's going to solve all of the problems that we have in the workplace. If you watch these ridiculous movies where nobody acts like this, no one would even think to act like this. And if you watch this movie and take a test, now you will no longer harass people or sexually harass your coworkers, which is bullshit. I will always sexually harass my coworkers. In fact,
I was lucky because this video is not, that was the great thing. I was like, is this to stop me? They're like, no, this is for you to be able to spot it. That's what I thought was great.
Okay.
Now, in this video, I'm in the state of Connecticut. So there's only 3 places that have the law that you can't make fun of transsexual people. By the way, it's California, Maine, and Connecticut. So that's why I had to watch it. All the other states, do what you want.
Well, I'm in New York, and in New York, we have to watch these videos too. And I had a different video that I had to watch, just as hilarious. After we all got done watching it, that's all we talked about for weeks was how fucking stupid it was,
So good.
how poorly written it is. The bureaucrats who are coming up with this shit have never written a script in their lives, and now they have to come up with this sexual harassment training program. It's fucking amazing. They got to post this shit online. It would have 300 million views overnight on YouTube if they can get this shit out online.
I know so many people that are trying to be actors. I always watch that going, I hope it's someone I know. I hope it's someone I know that got that fucking role. Or worse, went up for that role and didn't get the role of Ken. Because I'm like, that's my role. I should be Ken. I even said to them, I said, I don't know if Big Lots is making another one, but when they do, I want to play Ken.
Yeah, let me know. I bet that pays too. I bet it's a good gig.
I'll do it for free, Carl. I will do that fucking job for free. I will write lines way over Ken's head. Bobby.
The POS is the writer of the movie who made Ken fucking hilarious. You know, it was some guy like you who was a writer who was just taking a paid gig. They were like, we need you to write the sexual harassment thing. He was like, all right, but Ken's going to fucking smash.
I bet you they went to an open mic and scouted people, and just some guy was like this white, racist, misogynistic asshole. They're like, that's our guy. That's who we need.
That's why he never broke character.
Yeah, he's the guy nobody will book because he's too dirty and he's a straight white male. That's what I love too. He was the only white person besides the narrator in this thing.
How you know he's evil.
Right, yeah. They didn't say that. They just showed like crippled Spanish, giant white lady transvestite. Was supposed to be hot white woman, but she really wasn't that hot. Whatever. And then there was like a light-skinned black woman, and then like a dark black guy with like a crazy like I'm the captain now accent, and then who also doesn't believe in church. Whatever. That was your list of people. And then there was another guy that was mentioned but not in it. When Ken said, "Hey, if I can't make fun of them because that's all races and stuff, can I at least make fun of it was like Dave because he's obese and that's not a race." He like the guy needs his own area code. Am I right? And I'm like, a little hacky for you, but okay. Oh, and he shit on gingers too. He said that they're creepy and you can see through them. But he goes, but the women are hot. I was like,
making a lot of good points, this guy. I'm going to scribble this down.
I got to find out what I've been looking for. I got to what the name of it's a company, not Big Lots doesn't do it. It's like Servisoft or something. I forget what. I got to find it. And there's got to be videos out there and I got to find this goddamn thing. Ken needs to be a star. He's so good.
I'd rather watch that than this podcast.
Without a doubt. But just to warn you, for the first 20 minutes, Frank explains the HR video. So, Frank, who's
Now,
a piece of shit.
all right, I'm going to give you my opinion on it. You're all wrong, okay? You're all wrong. You're all talking about this video. It hit home. It was so ridiculous, so funny. You remember it. And don't you think when you pass an African-American's desk that has some Christmas decoration on for Easter, you're going to think twice before you say something. That's because you remember this video and you remember the fun parts and you absorbed it all.
You think we're supposed to remember the fun?
You know what a piece of shit is? The 4 of you. That's what a piece of shit is.
I agree with Frank. The 4 of us are the pieces of shit. Good point.
I want to know which
Well
of the
played.
pictures behind Karl you think is a person.
Is it R2D2?
D3PO.
Awesome.
Holy shit. First of all, Frank, you still didn't say who the piece of shit was.
I would have to say, I don't see a piece of shit in this story because I think they nailed it. Whoever decided to do it, whoever the creative person was, and whoever the stupid actors were, they nailed it. You
Right.
remembered it.
Yeah.
If Paul Newman did it, you wouldn't remember it.
I didn't nominate the video.
I like that Pat's played by the rules all of a
I
sudden.
play by the
Oh,
rules.
that's right. All of a sudden, we got A, B, C, or D. What about F?
Yeah, F. You got an F in this. You're fucking failing this entire goddamn thing.
It's too late for me. I don't care if I get an F.
All right. We're fine.
I vote for Frank's take. I like his take on it.
I like Frank. Frank thinks that we should all be inspired by this video and be happy how it brought us all together.
You're talking about it. You spent 20 minutes laughing and describing everything about
We
it. All
talked
the
20
points.
minutes about your fucking Super Bowl thing. No one enjoyed that.
Frank's right, though. You weren't even expecting to talk about that today. And you
That's
described-
right. You wouldn't even remember
To
it.
be honest, it's written down on a piece of paper.
Oh, okay. Damn it, you got me.
I tried to do it in like my other two podcasts and I couldn't crowbar it in. So I'm like, let me show it in here and it's fine. All right. Bobby, promote things. What do you got going on?
Check out the East Side Dave Show every Tuesday at 7:30 on Compound
Compound
Media. I did have a show with Gino. It got canceled. Keep you posted when that,
That
gets
makes sense. Most
rescheduled.
shows with Gino Bisconti should be canceled. Gino was just on Karl's show.
He was fantastic. I had him and Chrissy Mayer on. And
Were you allowed to talk?
Not much.
No. But he does a great job. When he's on my podcast, same thing. I just let him go.
People complained about it in our subreddit. They all hated him. I'm like, no, it was better that he was talking than I was.
Yeah.
Well, he's great if you want to have like a one-on-one or a rant or whatever. But yeah, but in your show with the structure that's there, people that
Yeah.
like that, he's not going to even listen to that other podcast or radio show. He's going to talk about himself.
Oh,
To
no,
be
it was
fair,
great.
the topics you covered was like the putting a poodle out in front of a pit bull. Like he knew he was gonna just devour it and go after it.
Yes.
No, we had Gino on, and we talked about Kate Willett's podcast,
Oh, okay. That makes sense then.
which was great. And then we also had Stuttering John interviewing Opie. So it was like the Super Bowl of WATP. It was the
So
greatest.
him and Chrissy were perfect then for that. So.
Yeah, that was great. So anyway, yeah, who are these podcasts? Who are these.com to find out all the stuff that we're up to. Thanks for having me on. This is
And
fun.
please, people, check his podcast is hilarious. And believe me, go listen to the one where you shit on me, and then you go listen to two where I was on him as well. But it's a super fun listen. You're really.
I gotta
enjoy it.
say, Pat, you're phenomenal on the show. I feel like the format suits your sensibilities very well.
I love it. Believe me, I've gotten a lot of comments from your listeners that all say that I am what they think the most prepared guest that you have on, because you and I talk about, I felt bad that I didn't do enough research. You're like, you're fine. You don't have to do all this research, but like, I feel like if I'm going to come on, I better listen to the other shows, know what's going on, be ready to really hate these people.
Yeah, that's the fun part. There's no surprises. We're just going to make fun of this podcast, listen to it, and goof on it.
That's it.
Let's go.
And believe me, there's several shows that I want to throw your way, but I'm like,
Good.
I won't. Just I know they'll get all mad, but I think some of them need the kick in the ass
do
that
it.
I had. You know
Good,
what I mean?
man. Let's do it. I'm in.
Frank, you got nothing.
I got nothing, baby.
Super
I
Bowl
got nothing.
17. Let's go watch Super Bowl 17. See Frank. He's in the third and fourth quarters. You can't miss it.
Yeah, you know, CBS, who
I'm gonna go
televised
do
it,
that
they
now.
NFL Films wants $10,000 for the video. That
Oh,
was
the-
20 years ago.
We can't find it
Forget
online? I thought you said we could
Right,
find
yeah, that was 20 years ago when they didn't have online. You could just find it now. Yeah, 20 years
I got
ago.
nothing. I got
think the
nothing
people
till
that-
March.
I think the people that charged you that also fixed Bobby's car. All right, follow us here on YouTube, the Pat Oates channel. You'll see that here. Also, if you go wherever Pat Oates podcast is, you'll hear this on there as well. I'll be at the Stress Factory on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. This will come out before that. So I guess the Sunday before that. So in a couple of days, I'll be at Comics hosting the finals of Last Comic Standing. Also, I'm on every Sunday. I'm on WPLR playing classic music and saying horrible things, but not for too long. And I'll listen to all my podcasts. I appreciate everybody listening. Thank you, Karl, so much for coming on and being with us. Bobby and
Thanks,
Frank,
Karl.
everybody out there, don't be a piece of shit.